back to this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody. I am joined alongside my co-host, Tony Sapita. And today we are hitting on not only the Chicago White Sox, but the soon-to-be returning Eloy Jimenez. Before we begin, a word from our sponsor, Higher Level Camps. 27 years and counting, Higher Level Camps has been the longest-running boys and girls AAU program in the state of Wisconsin. Higher Level Camps was established in 1995 by their founder and retired WNBA player Cheryl Moore. Higher Level Camps has grown into including 3 locations, the greater Fond du Lac area, Milwaukee, and Eau Claire counties. For more information, visit www.higherlevelcamps.com. Link in the description and say Just Another Year sent you. We love Cheryl. Tony, this is all you. I know you're very excited about today, the news that broke earlier this morning about Eloy Jimenez. So kind of run me through this guy. And a lot of people don't know him. A lot of people don't know that he was on the Cubs. Just kind of like give me a very, quick, brief, but what the fans want to hear about Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah, so Eloy Jimenez, just in general, what he kind of represents to Chicago was he was kind of the real kind of, end of the, lead up to the rebuild, if that makes sense. I don't know really what to call it. End of like the floundering, where we just went all in, like we're sell the farm, get the prospects, and then kind of go from there. So he's 24 years old, outfielder / DH probably by the end of this year, out of Santo Domingo, the Dominican Republic. He was the top international prospect that the Cubs signed in 2013. Who was then, so he played, in the minors. He did okay. He got hurt a little bit. It was just some freak injuries, kind of like we saw earlier this year with some plays where, just kind of went the wrong way. It wasn't hopefully anything long-term that should affect him still. So in 2017, he was traded to the White Sox. And so I mentioned that trade before. That was, we got the White Sox actually got Dylan Cease out of that as well, with 2 other guys that we'll probably never hear from again.
From the Chicago Cubs.
Yes, from the Chicago Cubs. So
from the Chicago Cubs.
Yes, thank you very much. Was traded, from the Cubs to the White Sox, which is kind of a weird, rare crosstown trade. I can't remember the last. I mean, there was Neil Kotz, I think. It was like the last.
Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa, true. Yeah, so clearly a lot of Hall of Fame sluggers, or should be in the Hall of Fame sluggers, are being traded between the Cubs and Sox over their history. So that was actually for Jose Quintana, who at the time was the White Sox best player, you could probably say in general. He was doing very well. So that was seen as a win now move for the Cubs, rebuild move for the White Sox. Obviously we traded, Chris Sale for Yoan Moncada, Michael Kopech, but this was we burned it down, now we build it up kind of trade. Obviously the Jose Quintana part didn't work out for the Cubs as well as you probably would have liked to, but the bright side is the White Sox got the better player. So I think we could both agree that worked out for everyone.
I agree. I think that the Cubs at the time did win because teams had to start planning around their pitching staff. And I don't think Jose Quintana did bad at first for the Cubs. It was just, after 3 or 4 starts, he really just, his stock plummeted, injuries went into play. But I think the White Sox definitely won that trade, especially with Dylan Cease in there. A lot of people forget about that part of it. But I agree. So kind of run me through it. He's had a very young career, but a very successful young career so far. So kind of run me through his stats, kind of where he stands already in his very few years of baseball.
Yes. So his MLB debut was March 29th, 2019. He moved up the minor league ranks really early. He started AA with the White Sox, went right up to AAA basically. And then they finally called him up for the start of the 2019 season. He actually, I don't know if he still holds the record, but at the time it was the record for the most money received by a player. It was a 6-year contract, right. 61 million, I believe it was, with an option to get it up to 75 if they added on 2 more years. But he had no service time whatsoever. He had not played a game, didn't have an at bat in the MLB. So that was a record in itself. So that was pretty cool for him. And I think it's worked out so far. Obviously, I know he's hurt. That's what we're talking about. So he's played 177 career games, 681 career at bats. 2019, he was good. He had home runs. You could just see, he was developing. He was still raw. Major league player, at least, even though he did have a lot of the tools there. In 2020, he actually received a Silver Slugger Award in 55 games. Obviously, they only played 60, so he played most of them. with a 296 batting average, 14 home runs, 41 RBIs, an OPS of 891, batting average on balls in play, or BABIP, of 340. And he was top 10 in most major statistical offensive categories, including hits, home runs, RBIs, slugging, total bases, and extra base hits. So you could obviously see where he's just improving year over year. He increases batting average almost 30 points. So that really was like the big next step for the White Sox. Now these other guys came up, but he was really the lead into Yoan Moncada, the lead into Luis Robert, like these next guys where it's okay, this might actually work. So now as he's coming back, he's going to start his rehab stint and everything. I have a question for you, Nick. Obviously, Yermin has been the DH. Andrew Vaughn has taken over in left field. I don't know if he could play right, if Eloy can play right field. In your opinion, where should the White Sox play him when he comes back? If everyone is still exactly how they are, let's say, Yermin and Andrew Vaughn.
I think that he's definitely earned, the respect of the organization. He was part of that rebuild process a couple years ago. And you don't want to bring in a guy like that and then have stats like that. And yes, he got hurt. Obviously, you want to make sure he's going to play at that level. But if he comes back playing at the exact level that he left off at, I would throw him in. I think Yermin is ice cold right now. We've kind of talked about this a couple times. I think he went like 1 for 36 at one point. Yep. Which is horrendous. And you can't have something like that, especially on a ball club that's going for a World Series and how well they've been playing as a team. Get rid of every bad seed you can get. And if you have one bad seed, it could lead to turmoil with other ones. So I still think Yermin is a hell of a player. I think his story is incredible. But, Eloy has definitely earned his right to get right back into the starting lineup, whether that be a DH or in the outfield. Personally, after this injury, he might be better off as a DH. It kind of shows him that he takes his defense a little too seriously during spring training. And then like you said, Vaughn is doing super well right now. So you obviously don't want to cool off a hot guy. I would personally take out Yermin, let him get his head right a little bit, still keep him on the active roster. You don't want to, completely put a player down in the minors that could throw him off completely. But I would definitely put Eloy in DH for sure. Yermin on the bench, keep Vaughn out there for the time being. And once, Eloy kind of shows that he's ready, kind of go from there.
I completely agree. I think, slowly work him in at DH, kind of switch off every game maybe, or just kind of pinch hit near the end, kind of, make it almost an open competition. So obviously we're going to wrap up here. So just in general, Eloy is resuming baseball activities. He's cleared to resume them as of, I think I wrote today, but I think it was cleared yesterday. Today, I believe he resumes the activities. They said should be about 4 weeks. So middle of July, like the 13th, 14th of July. And then he will begin a minor league rehab stint down with, I assume, AAA, maybe AA to really just, because he hasn't played any baseball. There's no timetable yet on that. So I'm hoping August. I just bought my Cubs Sox tickets today. Nick and I are going. I'm actually going to every game of the series. With family, friends, and stuff. So
sorry, London.
Maybe we'll see him there. Yeah, sorry, London.
But real quick, Tony, before you go, I know that we've been trying to bring this back. So Tony's takes are back. Tony, give me your quick take that fans should be taking away for tonight.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of an overall Tony's takes here. So the first ballot came out for All-Star voting, and there are 4 White Sox on the ballot. I believe Jose Abreu is in second place at first base for first base. Yoan Moncada is, I think, second place, third base. And there's a couple of guys in there. Yermin's in there. And actually Yasmani Grandal as well. So Tony's take here today, put it on your boards, is there will be 3 White Sox players in the top 2 of like the position. So maybe not a starter, but they'll at least be the backup. I do think they'll probably get a 4th in there as like a reserve. And then I think they will get a pitcher as well. But I'm officially going to say 3 top 2, at their position in the All-Star game with at least 1 starter. That's Tony's take.
I think that's a total take. I think it's not even a hot take. That's a legitimate take. And I think the Cubs are also in the similar position, which we will get on during next episode. But look out for the All-Stars of Chicago. You might as well just put the All-Star game in Chicago this upcoming summer because it's pretty much going to be all Cubs and White Sox. But thank you very much, Tony, for your insight on Eloy Jimenez. Again, he resumes baseball activity, so stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a couple of weeks once he's officially back on the Major League roster, and hopefully we'll have better information on whether Yermin should play, whether Vaughn should play. We'll have more on that later. But thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside my co-host Tony Sapita, and we will see you guys next time.